Yeah. Landry Fields was the MVP of the San Francisco Pro-Am 2009-2010. He played for the Oakland Believers, and he doesn't have a lot of friends.
First question right here in the front. Just hold on 1 second for the mic.
Jeremy, hi. Luke Leonard, Gamer Live Forbes. So the world has seen you progress over these last weeks. A few of us have gotten to see you progress virtually through video games and NBA 2K12. Can you tell us how they had you ranked, if you know, and the progression through the last 2 weeks?
I actually don't know the exact numbers. I know for a while I was in the 50s, I believe.
53.
53. I think ESPN had me as the 467th best player out of 500 or something like that coming into the season.
Your first week you went up to 69 and then to now 75. Where do you see yourself progressing to?
Not really too worried about that. I don't know. I don't have a set number or a goal or something, but it's cool I guess it's cool to be able to hear about progressing. I think that's the important thing, is that me and my team, we continue to improve, and just as long as we're headed up, I think we're good to go.
Left side.
Mike Bianchi from the Orlando Sentinel. Jeremy, I heard your college coach Tommy Amaker say in one of the interviews that he thinks your ethnicity is one of the reasons maybe you were overlooked by college recruiters and NBA scouts because you don't, quote, look like your normal NBA player. Do you believe that to be the case?
I think it has something to do with it. I don't know how much, but I think just being Asian American, obviously when you look at me, I'm going to have to prove myself more so, again and again and again, and some people may not believe it. I know a lot of people say I'm deceptively athletic and deceptively quick, and I'm not sure what's deceptive, but maybe it's, it could be the fact that I'm Asian American, but I think that's fine. It's something that I embrace, and gives me a chip on my shoulder, but I'm very proud to be Asian American, and I love it.
Fourth row on the right.
Anthony Reber from Newsday. Jeremy, if you had helped Iman in the slam dunk, would there have been a couch involved? Would it have been that couch?
We actually had a sweet idea. Iman came up. Landry was gonna roll a couch out with a cover on over it. I was gonna be sleeping underneath it, and then we were gonna pull the cover. I was gonna throw Iman an alley-oop from the couch. He was gonna jump over both me and the couch, windmill it, and then sit down and have Landry hand him a Sprite. So that was our idea, but it didn't get to happen. He got hurt, and so hopefully he gets healthy soon. And we miss him and wish he was here with us in this game that we're about to play.
The back right.
Alex Kennedy, Hoops World. With how quickly this has all happened, is it still kind of surreal that you're holding your own press conference during All-Star Weekend?
Oh, absolutely. Just any press conference of my own in general, let alone All-Star Weekend. Just to be here and to see the company and all the players that are here, it's just it's been unbelievable. And I'm just trying to take it all in and embrace it and enjoy it every step of the way.
Four in the back. Scott.
Scott Hart Cooper from NBA.com. Number 17 is an unusual jersey number. I know that in the past you've worn 7. Did you just put a 1 in front because that's as close as you could get, or is there some tribute to maybe a player from your hometown growing up that you especially liked?
7 was my number last year, and it was it's one of God's numbers that He uses throughout the Bible, and I chose 17 because the 1 was kind of to represent me, and the 7 was to represent God. And for me, when I went to the D League, I had 17, and so it was like everywhere I go, He'll be right there next to me, and so that's why I stuck with 17. What's that?
There's no real Chris Mullin influence there, just a
Oh, no, not at all. Actually, sorry. I didn't even think of that. But he's a great player. And trust me, I was a huge fan of his. So.
In the center.
This is Santosh from India. In the last 15-20 days, your life has changed a lot. How are you coping up with the newfound celebrity status and stardom?
Just trying to stay focused on basketball, and I think the schedule helps because the games come so fast. And at the same time, being around my teammates, just trying to stay focused on what we have, the next game and what we need to do to improve. So just trying to tune everything on the outside out and really stay focused.
Or what's up?
Hi, Colleen Dominguez, ESPN. Shaq selected you to be on his team. Did you get a call from Shaquille, or what has he said to you?
I haven't had a chance to. Shaq missed practice this morning, so I don't know. I think we should find him or something because we were all expecting him to be there. But I look forward to meeting him soon.
And one follow-up. If you weren't expecting to be here up until about the last week or so, except maybe for the dunk, what would you have been doing All-Star Weekend?
I was gonna plan on going to some warm tropical beach area vacation with my family, but I'm glad I'm here.
Back right, Frank.
Jeremy, Frank, I saw the New York Daily News. Udonis Haslam had told the story that the last time you were in Miami during the chapel that you had mentioned that you could say a prayer for me that I don't get cut. I was wondering if you could vouch for that story and how that all went down.
Yeah, I went to chapel with Jerome Jordan and Landry Fields, and the chaplain asked us to share a prayer request, and I knew February 10th was right around the corner, so that was what was on my heart, just that I would be able to continue to stay on the roster and be with the team the rest of the year, and so that's kind of what I share with the group of guys, and he was one of the guys in there.
Back left.
Hey Jeremy, Stephanie Stepp from Harlem Community Radio. There's something about your game that tells me that you've been on a playground somewhere. I read that your dad used to take you to the YMCA or something, but have you been to Rucker Park? And if not, what are some of the parks you have been to help develop your game?
I haven't been to Rucker Park, but growing up, it was just in California, Northern California. I pretty much played anywhere and everywhere. I remember when I was in high school, I played at Stanford until about 2 a.m. every Friday night, and then my brother went to UCLA, so I'd go to UCLA, play at the Wooden Center or the Wooden Gym, and so anywhere I could find basketball, me and my brothers would always just kind of gravitate towards and just play.
Steve in the back.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Jeremy, in what ways, good and bad, do you think this would be playing out differently if you were in Milwaukee or if you were with Charlotte as opposed to being with the Knicks?
I think obviously playing in New York, it's a big stage with a big fan base, and so there's a lot of media. And I think, in terms of platform and media, I think that's the best place to be, New York, just because they have it all. And one thing I really do want to do is embrace that platform and to be able to use it in the right way and use it positively and make sure that my message and the way that I live is in a way appropriate of a role model. And so I'm thankful for that.
Just to follow up, if you go through some period of adjustments in your game, is it going to be tougher to do that in New York with the daily constant attention?
I'm not too worried about that. I think the difference between me last year and this year is that last year I cared what everybody said, and this year I don't really care what anybody says, except for my teammates and my coaches. And that's kind of the approach that I'm taking.
Are you in the front?
Hi Jeremy, I'm Chris Strix from Singapore. There's Lynn Sanity, Linderella. Have you come up with a Lynn word of your own? And number two, what's the most important lesson your father taught you?
Okay, the first one, I haven't come up with one. I just like Jeremy. Want to make sure I don't change as a person and that I don't let any of this get to me. And then the second thing, my dad and my mom just always taught me, just not just in basketball but in life, just to give my best effort, kind of to follow my dreams and to do everything unto God's glory. And that's the motto that I've adopted for anything I do in my life.
Jeff.
Jeremy, Jeff Zilgett from USA Today. It seems that Mike's system is the perfect fit for you. When did you know and realize realize you could play that pick and roll system maybe even before getting to New York? And do you feel maybe that you're now pigeonholed into a system guy and that you cannot play in another system?
I think pick and roll wise, that's always been something looking back even in high school. We ran a lot of pick and rolls, and then in college we ran a lot of pick and rolls, and so that's just something that's kind of developed over time, just being familiar with pick and rolls. And I know there's, you know, the theory that it's just a perfect system for me, and so you know, I agree it is a perfect system for me. And you know, I'm thankful that I play for Coach D'Antoni because he really is an offensive genius. He is the way he designed his system, and so it's very suitable for me. And I mean, I guess somewhere down the road, if I play in another system, I'll be able to answer better that question of can I play in another system. But right now, I'm just focused on where I'm at and how I can help.
John on the left next to the door.
John Denton for OrlandoMagic.com. Ryan Anderson tells a story about you and him playing against each other when you were kids and AAU ball. And
Yeah.
are you impressed with how far he's come? And he said you guys met each other a couple years ago and he gave you some encouragement words.
I mean, I remember Ryan Anderson. I played against him every single year, and one year he was like not really playing, coming off the bench, role player, and the next year he was like way taller, shooting threes, posting up, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, he's a star at Cal and in the NBA. And I remember just being so surprised at how quickly, once his body filled out and he got used to it, how quickly he became the player that he is now, and he's just continued to get better. So I know he's having a great year this year as well, and he has given me advice and encouragement in the past. So he's a great guy.
In the center.
Steve Helling with People Magazine. What's the latest splurge that you've made? Anything financially that you bought?
No.
Nothing at all?
I'm still a minimum guy. That hasn't changed.
Next row back.
Jeremy, Noah Kozlov, Cinesport. You talked earlier in the week about the possibility that maybe the NBA wasn't going to be for you before this whole thing happened. What was Plan B?
I really didn't have a plan B, to be honest. I wasn't sure. Obviously, I was thinking about three main options: overseas, D-League, or to just take a break or give up basketball for a while. And I just didn't really know. I was just trying not to think about it, basically. And so I just said, you know, if I get cut by the Knicks, then I'll take a look at all that. But until then, I want to make sure I try to stay focused and not think negatively.
Mark on the left.
Surprised that this craziness is still surrounding you, and are you hoping at some point that maybe it dies down a little as the season goes on?
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised that people are still talking about, you know, Linsanity or whatever. I think hopefully as the season progresses, it will go from that to New York Knicks. And hopefully the Knicks can win basketball games. We can make a good push at the end of after the All-Star break, and people will start talking about the Knicks and not necessarily me.
All the way in the back under the camera.
Jeremy, Steve Kyler, Hoops World. You're obviously seen with Landry a lot, but who of your Knick teammates have been very supportive of you through this process? Who's been your coach in your ear?
I've had a few. Definitely, obviously, Landry's, you know, we do pretty much everything together. And then Carmelo, I think a lot of people have asked how is he fitting in, what's his attitude, but he's definitely taken me under his wing, and he talks to me pretty much every single time out, gives me a lot of advice. He told me to keep being aggressive and keep doing what I'm doing, and that we would learn to play off of each other. And so he's been giving me a lot of advice. The other two that really stick out, Tyson Chandler and Jared Jeffries. Tyson is an unbelievable leader. The way he plays, the way he carries himself, total professional. And he called me last night just to kind of pick me up and give me words of encouragement. And then Jared, the most underrated player on our team, he's an absolute team first guy, and his defense is unbelievable. And he's always talking to me, and he's been in the league for a long time. So they've all kind of given me a lot of advice and helped me make this transition.
Ryan, last question in the back under the table.
Jeremy, Brian Hoyt from the Associated Press. I've seen a few stories about guys who you played against in college talking about how, they stopped you or you didn't think you were that good back then. And just wondering, what's the trash talk like in the Ivy League?
Who said that?
I don't like Dartmouth guys and stuff, but no.
Yeah, I mean, I think trash talking during the game wasn't too bad in the Ivy League. And I definitely, had to go through growth pains, and I was shut down many times in college, and I will be many times in the pros. But it's a process, and so hopefully I can keep getting better. And hats off to anybody who shut me down in the past, and it's going to continue to happen during some games in the future.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
We'll have a transcript available shortly.